Good evening, everybody. Welcome to your Marc Skinner press conference reaction for the Athletico Madrid women versus Manchester United women's game in the Women's Champions League playoff first leg. Obviously, Manchester United women finished outside of the automatic qualification places, so this is why we're going to have to play a playoff against Atletico Madrid women, and obviously Manchester United women have already played Atletico Madrid women in the Women's Champions League in the league phase, which Manchester United women won that game, and they're down to 10 players as well, but they still won the game, which was absolutely incredible. Mind you, the official who was refereeing that match was absolutely abysmal, but Manchester United women still came out on top, which I was absolutely buzzing about. Obviously, we're going to listen to Marc Skinner's press conference, and also we're going to talk a bit about last night's game as well with the men, but big up to every single one of you who's like and logs in already this evening. Much appreciated, yeah. Now, if you're new to my YouTube channel, why not consider hitting the subscribe button, because I upload plenty of Manchester United content on this channel for the men and women. And also, I talk a lot about F1 as well. And please do subscribe as well to my Mr. Joshy J Football channel if you're into your EFL content, non league, international football. And please do subscribe to my extra channel as well. The links to my other two channels are in the description to this stream and pinned on top of the live chat, and in the description to this stream is my channel membership. Yes, I have level 1 and level 2 membership, people. So if anyone wishes to join the membership program today, you can find all the information pinned on top of the live chats. Now, when I do these press conferences, please note that I play it as audio only in the background. I do not share the press conference on the screen. I've not listened to the press conference yet, so what you'll be hearing from me is a fresh reaction as we all react to it together. The community reacts to it. So, yeah, big up to every single one of you who's like and logs in already. Much appreciated. Now, Manchester United women, I just want them to go out there and put on the best performance as possible. I mean, let's get it right, as I'm just going to adjust the cushion, make sure it's comfortable on my back. But yeah, so far, I'm impressed with this Samsung Chromebook laptop. It's working very well, in my personal opinion. It's doing the job. It really is. And it's great that I'm able to stream on the sofa. And obviously, this Chromebook is much faster than my desktop PC over there, because I feel with my desktop PC, it's very laggy at the end of the day. But, you know, we'll see how it goes. But so far, I'm impressed with the performance of this Chromebook. So, anyway, let's get on the press conference. And like I said afterwards, I'm going to chat a little bit about the West Ham game last night. I want to hear Michael Carrick's thoughts as well, what he said after the game. So, let's listen to Marc Skinner's press conference. I mean, our first season in the Women's Champions League, I think we're doing really well, if you ask me, to be honest. But obviously, it is a tough competition, though, and I'm not expecting us to win it. But if we can get to like the quarterfinals or something like that, I say that's been quite a successful first season for us in the Women's Champions League. I mean, let's get it right here, people. Yeah, let's absolutely get the narrative right. So, doing the press conference is Marc Skinner and Sandberger. who scored a great goal in the Women's Champions League before. So, yeah, but let's get on with the press conference, people. Let's go.
Yeah, squad's fine in good shape. I'll just start with team news then, Mark. How's the squad? Who's available? Anyone not? Yeah, squad's fine in good shape. Only Frido had a little knock from the weekend, so she'll miss out on this game, Fridolina. But Leah and Tooney are the only other absentees. Everybody else is fit and the squad's ready to go.
Yeah, it's such a shame Ella Toon is still injured, because I'm definitely missing her creative side, what she brings to the women's team. So hopefully, she'll be back soon, people.
And what have the last few days been like for you guys? Obviously, you've had a break from this competition, from the travel and the kind of back-to-back midweeks. What's the kind of readjustment been like? I think pretty good, to be honest. We are in a space where the team are ready and prepared for the huge challenge ahead. We've been here before. We saw our compadres when we walk through. So we know how tough it was last time we played. So we're expecting a really tough game. But I think our players are in game mode because we're having them thick and fast.
With our women's team, the team does look very focused. I'm not going to lie, they look well organised. Defensively, we look quite solid as well. So hopefully we'll do really well, people.
We're in really good form, really good quality of football that we're playing as well. So, I think we're in a good.
And I like the style play as well. I wish, though, in the WSL that Manchester United women would do a lot better against the bigger teams, because this season it's been a bit of our weakness in the WSL.
Good space, but we're ready to play against a really good team at their home venue, so we're looking forward to it. I'll open it up to both of you, but what do you think you learned from having come here and played here before? What impact has kind of that had on your preparations, if any? I'm happy to go first if you want to. Yeah, okay. From a team perspective, obviously Anna can maybe talk from a player perspective. You learn about how when you play a Spanish team, I think they've changed coach recently, so Jose's come in, and has changed the style of the team a little bit. So we've got to be prepared for that. But we a highly technical team. We're really threatening in the day. We went down to 10 players pretty early, so you have to learn how to adjust to that. They were really threatening in those moments, but I felt the team performed really well away from home, and we got the result on the day. So we're looking forward to the same thing, slightly different setup, different approach from the coach. But nevertheless, we're here to try and get a victory and take a good space back to the home leg.
No. I agree. We kind of know what to expect from this team because we played them once before, and I think we did a really good team performance, especially with being one player down as well. So, it's always a bit extra to play in the Champions League out in Europe. So. No, but I think it's a good thing that we played them before, and we kind of know what to expect. But it will be a hard game, a tough game, of course. But we are very excited.
And just to come back to you, Marc, I think when we think about what was before this season, United's only European away in Paris. If I can take you back to that versus to now, your first knockout game in the Champions League proper. What feels kind of different to you, and what feels the same? I guess
difference is the experience the players have. I've seen us fight. I've seen us play beautiful football.
One thing's for sure, our women's team definitely have fighting spirit. They don't admit defeat. They want to carry on and get back to winning ways. Even when they're behind in matches, they always show their mentality that the women's team, they want to win. It's as simple as that. Where obviously, when we had Ruben Amorim in charge with the men, the men half the time just did not show any effort whatsoever. But the women, they've definitely been shown effort.
Seen us find a way to win, and I think that's what we have to do in these two legs. I think we're going to have some challenging times. It's pretty windy out there, so that will challenge the game in different ways. But I think I've learned that a lot about my team. They've grown. This young lady when we first started wasn't there, so we're looking at the growth of the team has been great. What I'd say about the PSG one was, we played an incredible team then, and we'll play one tomorrow night, and we've got to be up for it on the night, and we've got to try our best to win the game. That's what we're here for. We're not travelled over here.
Absolutely. We just need to get absolutely everything, and hopefully we can take a 1-0 lead back to Leah Sports Village or back to Old Trafford, wherever we're playing the second leg. I could imagine it'd be at Old Trafford, because obviously the men are not in action now for about another 12 days, aren't they? I mean, excuse me. Let's get it right.
Yeah, to not do that. We'll give everything tomorrow night.
And coming into this one as well, your first one since the reinforcements that you...
Good evening, Yuan. Big up to you, mate. Good evening. Thank you for joining me this evening, mate. Wolves and Burnley results tonight have made the relegation battle very interesting. I agree with you, Yuan, 100%. It's going to be very, 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 very interesting indeed.
Brought in January, how much difference has that made, having that extra depth to fall back on?
I'm sure Anna will agree. I think adding the quality of players that we've added in, and happen to be 2 Swedish players as well, which should help Anna. They've added the quality that we can turn to on the bench when we need to change games or when they need to start and we need to adapt it. You've seen that in the game so far. I think we've had 10 goals from substitute appearances or involvement, so it shows a lot about how our players are primed, ready to come into the game to change it. And I'm sure you've seen the same from a playing perspective.
Yeah. Anna, let's talk a bit about your season. It feels like you've really kind of come into your own this season. I haven't had the chance to speak to you, so just want to ask for your kind of reflections on how it's gone so far.
No, I think it's been an amazing season so far, both for me and for the team as well. I think we've been performing really good. And I've been given the chance a bit more this season, and I've been really, really enjoying it. It's my second season here now with Manchester United, and it's always something different to move abroad. It's my first.
Yeah, Sandsberger, I've been quite impressed with her. Her performances have been very good, I feel, this season.
I'm moving abroad, but I feel like I really found my place here now, and the team, the club is fantastic. So I feel like I've been taking steps since I joined, and I feel like this is the best place for me to be at the moment.
What do you think?
I'd go one further. I'd say she wouldn't take steps. She's took strides. I think I think Anna's on course to be one of the best left backs in the world. That's why we signed her. That was the talent we had, and that's what.
Oh wow, that's very bold from Marc Skinner saying she could be one of the best in the world, Sandberger. Well, we'll wait and see, but I say, she's had a very good season this year anyway.
We believe for her, and I don't mind saying that in front of her, because how diligent she is in her thinking and her preparation, and the mental thing she can overcome is that of a top player. I've seen many of them, and Anna's definitely one of those.
And you've perhaps been playing a bit agent as well. Mark's just kind of alluded to the other Scandinavian players that have come in. What's it like for you to have that kind of community in the squad?
No, of course it's amazing. I said that before. Like, even if it would be just one Swede here, it would be really nice. But the fact that we're 5 now, it's really nice, and they're amazing football players. Not only football players, but also as persons. So it's a great add to the squad, and they're doing amazing.
And just to bring it back to the game tomorrow, to both of you, kind of what do you anticipate kind of the main challenges being? What are the main things that you focused on going into it?
I think Atleti's ability to attack and change the game directly. I think the front 2 are lively and creative. I think they have, obviously, we know Vilderberg very well, who can, given time, find passes on a dime. So for us, it's about recognising how to try and control the game, but then, put our stance on the game as well. Recognise the quality they have, but put ours into the game, go and attack them. I don't think you can sit and try and draw any of these legs. You have to, I think both teams will try and win both legs. And if you can do that, I think you're probably going to have the best chance of progressing.
Yeah.
For you, Anna?
No, I mean, we know what team Athletico Madrid is. They're a really good team with really good players. So I think it's just important to focus on what we can do. And I think we've been playing really good recently in the league games as well. So I hope that we just can bring that feeling into these games as well.
So that is the end of Marc Skinner's press conference. I mean, I thought that was an excellent press conference, if you ask me. Some very good questions asked, no silly questions whatsoever. I say, yeah, that was a very successful press conference. So now let's have a listen, people, to what Michael Carrick had to say on last night's game, because I'm not listened yet to his post-match interview. So let's hear what he had to say about the game. The boys are frustrated and disappointed, it says. Well, I mean, I can imagine so, but yeah, we're very poor last night. We really were, We're lucky to get that equaliser, I tell you.
Does that feel like a win? And what's your overview of the performance?
Nah, mate, it feels more like a defeat to me, because realistically, we should have lost that game last night. It's a big year for Ollie Behrman. I think he's future world champion, 100% you, and hopefully he will do well again this season.
It looked a bit kind of stodgy.
Good word, that.
I don't know what it means.
Stodgy. The word stodgy I heard is like, say, stodgy rice. I never heard that in a post-match interview before.
I think mixed, to be honest. Mixed feelings. I think we know we weren't quite at our best. I think credit West Ham for that, a little bit of closing certain spaces up, but I think
we definitely weren't at our best. That's true, Michael.
Can be better. The boys were a bit frustrated and disappointed probably with that, which is a really good sign for me. And then finishing with a late goal when we've had to find one is a good moment and another positive for us to know that we can do that, and we don't want to have to pull on it and use it too often. But I think in the grand scheme, I think as a point, something where we can take and we kind of dust ourselves down a little bit, assess it, take these games over a 5-game period, and to just have one draw in there, I think is a big positive. So mixed feelings, really.
You gambled at the end in the last 10 minutes when you got 6-0.
Big up to you, Zane. Good evening, mate. Thank you for joining me this evening, mate. Much appreciated. Good to see you, mate. How are you? I hope you're well. I hope your week's gone good so far. The Champions League race will go down to the wire, mates. I agree, 100%. That's a good win for your side tonight against Sunderland. That is Sunderland's first defeat at home this season.
It's always worth it, yeah. It's always worth it to try and get something out of the game. I think I have to say credit to Lenny. I thought his two bits of defending 1v1 and defending the counter attack.
Yeah, Lenny Euro, he's very inconsistent, right? But I actually thought he had a decent game in this one. So yeah, fair play to him.
We knew he was going to have to do at times, throwing the bodies forward. I thought them 2 moments where he's blocked and were huge moments, and so he deserves a lot of credit for that, to give us the chance to then go and get the goal that'll kind of get something out of the game. And we had moments. Josh had a chance. Obviously, Casemiro had the chance, which I'm not seeing it, but must have been close. And then big moment for Ben. So yeah, we had to go for it. We had to try and get something out of the game. And credit to the lads for keep going.
Hi, Michael. How much thought did you give to starting Benjamin tonight? He's also made an impact off the bench a few times. And did you consider bringing him on any earlier? Because it felt for a while like he was missing that kind of focal point of the striker tonight, not the build-up play tonight. So kind of missing that.
Yeah, it's always the balance. I think the boys have done fantastically well who have played as well. So it's that's the.
I mean, yeah, in the last few games we were fantastic, but in this one, we just were not on it at all. I mean, let's get it right here. The team looks very sluggish, lethargic, but mind you, I thought Nuno Espirito Santo set up the West Ham team very, very well indeed.
Importance of the whole group and the importance of the squad, and I've said it. I've said it to them after every game, and I only say it because it's that important. And as I said, Lenny's come on and made a big difference for us tonight in big moments, and then Ben scored again. So Ben's doing a lot of work. He's in a good place. He's ready to kick on. It's just managing the kind of the balance, and we could have changed things a little bit earlier. That's obviously the decision. We're always trying to make the right one, and we're actually having a bit of a spell in the game at that point where we thought we might come back into it, and Casemiro's goal, and so there's a balance. But
of course, Casemiro was offside, people, and it was the correct decision because when you saw the markings and that, when they drawn the lines, he was definitely offside. So the officials got that one spot on. So I'm not going to be that sort of fan who blames the officials because we didn't win the game. No, people. To me, that sends out the wrong message. To me, you are falling for the PR, and you're trying to come up with excuses to why your football team didn't win the game. Yes, I know the officials aren't great, but you cannot keep blaming the officials on absolutely everything.
Certainly, when he came on the pitch, he made a big difference.
Michael, it's the first time you've not had a full week into a game. How much did the difference did that make in terms of preparation and performance?
That's what it is. That didn't make a difference for us.
See, he's not going to make that as an excuse, that the players were tired just because we played in the space in a few days. I mean, what are we doing here? Seriously. So, yeah, I agree with you, Michael Carrick. You cannot be using tiredness as an excuse. Arsenal have a hard game at Brentford tomorrow. They do, Yuan. 100% they do. But it's a must-win for Arsenal, to restore the 6 points gap, obviously after Manchester City won tonight.
I think we know how hard it is to put a run together in this league. Every team shows that. It's not.
Oh yeah, it's not easy going on a winning streak in this league. But obviously, I like how he's not making up the excuses that the players were tired. Because if that was any other manager, people, and that was Ruben Amorim or say Eric Ten Hag, they say, "Oh, it's the injuries. Oh, the players are tired. This and that." It's like, fuck off, man. Seriously, stop using that as an excuse.
Easy to build and win every game, so sometimes you got to pull on different things. Sometimes it naturally comes and it flows and you get everything clicks and you look really dangerous and there's a spark. Sometimes it's a little bit more difficult, as Simon says, maybe a little bit stodgy, but it's sometimes you just
love to know where that word stodgy comes from.
Doesn't quite work. You've got to find the answers and find a way. And listen, we prefer to doing it with a clean sheet. I think if we were really at it, we'd have a clean sheet and give us a chance of winning the game. That's the frustrating one, really, with the goal that we conceded from.
I mean, we are defending a bit better these days, but we're still letting in a lot of goals, aren't we, people? So yeah, it's not sustainable, man.
From the flow that was kind of in their corner, that's. But sometimes you got football throws things up and you got to do it. So as I said, in the grand scheme of things, we managed to take something from it and move on.
Robin and Carl.
Just on Ben, it's obviously a big move for a young striker to come to the Premier League. And at times before you arrived, he looked a little bit short of confidence, but he's come with two massive goals.
I mean, Benjamin Sesko, you know me, people, I'm not really his biggest fan, but you have to say the last couple games, he has come up with some brilliant moments. So fair play to him, yeah, and hopefully he can carry it on.
For you now, and the finish tonight, it looks like the finish of someone who's been in the league for years.
Yeah, it's an unbelievable finish from the angle to kind of generate that to get it on target to finish it. It's some goal from him, and he's capable of that, Ben. He's done it over time. It's not that he's just suddenly burst on the scene. He's been doing it. He's proven that he can score goals as well, and he's been doing it in training for us as well. So it's not surprising, to be honest. I think that's what he does. It's what he's good at, but certainly to be actually do it and to feel it. As I said, the last one would have done him the world of good. The winner tonight, a little bit different with the emotion of the game, but certainly important and a big moment for him and us.
Good afternoon. Good evening, Mr. Carrick. Just want to talk about Kobe Mania a little bit.
Oh, good evening, Mr. Carrick. Why don't you just say Michael good evening, Mr. Carrick. Wow.
He's often described as a midfielder who doesn't always make the highlight reel. For someone who used to be a midfielder is now a coach. Could you explain that sort of player to the layman or to any young players out there? What is that sort of player?
He just plays his role on the team, Kobe. I think he's playing next to Cas.
Kobe Mainoo, since he's been put back in the starting lineup, he's been absolutely superb. But yet, that rules Ruben Amorim was refusing to play him, and he wanted to leave Kobe Mainoo, which at that time I did not blame him one bit. It just goes to show what a fraud this manager Ruben Amorim was. Seriously, the treatment he gave to Kobe Mainoo was an absolute disgrace. Michael Carrick has reinstated him into the starting lineup, and look at him now. Big up to you, Dynamite Sorting. Good evening, mate. Thank you for joining me this evening, mate. Much appreciated. So, I've done Marc Skinner's press conference. Now I'm just listening back to Michael Carrick's post-match interview from last night. Also, I'm going to listen to what Nuno Espirito Santo had to say about the game as well.
The Miro, I think they've got a really good partnership and kind of complement each other. And basically, as a midfielder, you're trying to connect the team and you're trying to bring everything together, whether that's with the ball, without the ball. And he certainly takes the ball. I think we all realise that he'll take the ball everywhere and he'll connect the whole team. And he's not always going to be the one that maybe has the final action, but he certainly starts a lot of our moves, and he's having a big impact on the team at the moment, which is great to see.
Two players that he's Ferdinand once asked why he liked playing with you, and he simply said, "I like Michael Carrick because he passes the ball forward." When you're up against a team like West Ham, you sat deep. How hard is it to get the ball forward?
Yeah, it's challenging because listen, we're all craving for it. I'm on the side of the pitch, and you want in them moments where you can open them up and you can be really positive. I think it's that.
The goal we conceded, though, the marking was shocking. That goal what Souček scored. When Stanley and Stewart are absolute frauds, they're going to do the same model like Chelsea men's team to the women's team. Yeah, and that's not good news at all, Daniel Sorting. Your ownership are absolute frauds, mate. You got to get them out as soon as possible. But unfortunately, mate, I don't think they're going to go anywhere, are they? Unfortunately.
Balance as well of the team who are so dangerous on transition and on regains and turnovers with the pace they have and the way that they can attack so fast. So there's a real element of getting a balance between risking passes through the middle or risking a pass to then give away to then try. So you've got to be as much as you want to go and progress, you still got to be in a position to manage the game and have an element of control. And we probably just went a little bit more in terms of the control tonight at times, but that's something we'll get towards. And the fact that we still scored the goal at the end, I think we can't be too down or too disappointed. I think there's you got to understand the context of the game and where we're at. And
I'm disappointed. We didn't win the game because I was expecting a lot more.
We can still take a lot.
If they say in the club, we will keep falling behind our rivals like City, Liverpool, and Arsenal. Yeah, you will.
From the game.
Chris, and then last one for Nathan.
You haven't got a game for a little while now, so just wondering what's the plan for the next couple of weeks? Staying in Manchester or getting away?
Yeah.
Big up Michael.Chelsea FC. Good evening to you, Geezer. Thank you for joining me this evening, Geezer. Much appreciated. So I've done Marc Skinner's press conference. Now I'm listening to Michael Carrick's post-match interview from last night. And also I'm going to listen to what Nuno Espirito Santo had to say as well. Day 494, day not cutting my hair. I mean, look, I know he wants to remain popular and that, but Wayne Rooney said now that he is sick and tired of hearing about this, which I get people are sick and tired of hearing it because literally it's giving the football club like bad reputation in that by keep going on about the hair and that, where if we carry on slipping up, he won't get his haircut. And when he does get his haircut, to me, this person will no longer be relevant. So, yeah, I see where Wayne Rooney's coming from with this, that he's getting a bit bored of this.
Manchester, I think it's a chance to do a bit of both, of refresh a little bit. A few boys carrying knocks and niggles and a few strains that we can kind of clean up as you would expect at this stage of the season, and then obviously do some good work. And I think they do need a little bit of a breather and kind of digest where we're at really after this period of time, and take a deep breath and then come back, learn from it, and kind of clear the head and come back stronger again. So it'll be a little mixed, but.
I mean, obviously, Michael Carrick has been playing really good football, and at some stage he has begun to make an error, but hopefully he can learn from it. But the draw and that, where we drop points at the London Stadium, I'm not putting all the blame on Michael Carrick because it's like the players, they were just not on it at all. So yeah.
It's a strange one, obviously, 13 days, but we'll definitely use it and make the most of it.
Late goals are a bit of a tradition at this club.
I mean, even though the Manchester United men will not be in action, I got plenty of Manchester United women's content to still come, so I'll still have you covered, people.
Arsenal, West Ham, kind of seen that. Has that been a bit of a message from you to the players to always keep going?
I mean, I know women's football isn't for everybody, but, quite a few of my subs are into women's football, so I think they'll be happy that I'm carrying on doing Manchester United content whilst the men are on their break. And like I said, majority of my subs do like women's football, so I think they'll be more than happy to see Manchester United women's content. Seen day one pre-season testing F1 season. I'm going to dominate pre-season testing. Red Bull had a decent day as well, but again, dinosaur team, we don't know where teams are going to be. Not Rooney's biggest fan at all, but he's speaking sense there. He is 100%. I got, because I screenshot it earlier, I got the photo. I'll have a look. Sound like here it is. So Wayne Rooney says, Rooney on the Man United fan for the haircut. I'd put him to the other side of the country. He's doing my head in. We're talking about Carrick and United trying to win their 5th game in a row, and the whole thing is around the guy getting his haircut. I bet he'll be devastated if United win the 5th game because all of a sudden he's irrelevant. So, yeah, he's talking a lot of sense there, Wayne Rooney. I have to agree with him. Did you see Lewis Hamilton's interview today? He spins on the track today. And also, did you see Danny Knight's sorting that he had the flashing yellow lights on the side of his car? Because that's a new feature to the cars this season. Say if there's a yellow flag in that, a yellow light will flash. Or say if there's a red flag in that, a red light will flash. So that's one thing to spot with the new F1 cars.
I think it's a huge part of it. I think you've got to have that spirit, and then sometimes you've got to find a way, you know. And we all try and want the perfect kind of performance. Well, not perfect, but you know, the kind of best we can be. Sometimes it doesn't quite happen, but it doesn't mean you give up. And we obviously went for it. You know, we went free at the back, and the rest all attacking basically towards the end to try and find that goal. And I think that's the way we should do it at that moment. And we managed to pull it off. So I was delighted with the boys.
And like just on the attack, you've got so much versatility, especially when Ben's in there, Brian.
When he had the behind closed doors test, you know, in Barcelona, he seems very happy. So I can't see him walking away just yet. I really can't, you know.
Like Bruno, how difficult is that to try and find the right balance? And obviously with Ben, it's slightly different again.
Yeah, I think there's a little bit on different games as well, and situation in games, and how you want to attack, where the space is or what the game looks like. We probably didn't quite get the balance right, if we're honest, you know, for the first part of the game, which happens, you know, that happens, and sometimes, you know, teams are allowed to stop you from scoring, so we just got to find that way, but we kept going and mixed things up, and because we have got that flexibility, I think it certainly helps to find different solutions. All right, cheers, guys.
There we go. That's the end of Michael Carrick's post-match interview. Now, he spoke a lot of sense there. He really did. So, yeah, look, I think deep down he'll be very annoyed that we dropped points. But at the same time, he'll be very happy that we salvaged a point. To me, though, as a fan, that totally, well and truly, papering over the cracks. Because in my personal opinion, we did not deserve anything from the game whatsoever. We were very lucky to score that equaliser. But get behind the team. Just praise the players, Mr. Joshy J. They show good character, Mr. Joshy J. But to me, it's not sustainable, you know. After the good football we played, you know, we went back to playing a team what looked lots of ideas, lethargic, and I warned people. I said that this could easily be a match where we slip up in, and guess what happens? We did, people. So, yeah, and this is why I never get carried away at Manchester United. It's like all these content creators who put, oh, Manchester United back, Manchester United are cooking, Michael Carrick is in a title race, Manchester United are going to challenge the league title. All hold that expeditiously. Hold that expeditiously. Yeah, you can all get in the bin because I said all along that we weren't in a title race. So I think it's absolutely ridiculous. People saying, oh, Manchester United are in the title race, this and that. I mean, get out here, man. Seriously. But, you know, you lot are being brought back to reality, haven't you? Because you would have seen last night that this Manchester United team, people, is far from being the finished article. Let's get it right here, people, yeah? Let's absolutely get the narrative right. And I was absolutely fuming at that performance. But you got a point, be happy. Why are you acting like you've lost the last 3 games, Mr. Joshy J? Because I expect more from Manchester United, yeah? The way we played the last few matches, I was expecting a lot more against West Ham United. I did say, though, in my preview, I said, do not underestimate them, but I was expecting a much better performance at the end of the day. And the fact that they didn't quite give it to me, you know, I say it's not sustainable and it's unacceptable, you know, because no disrespect to West Ham, you know, the players we should be winning comfortably. But at the London Stadium recently, we have had such a poor record in the London Stadium. I want to see what he does in the qualifying with the new regulations, and I will judge Lewis. 14 games left of the season, and why we talking about Manchester United in the title race is absolutely pathetic, Day-Night sorting. But all these content creators are being brought back to reality. They have, especially the ones who are using my football club for clicks and views, because, if they talk about Manchester United being in the title race, oh, Manchester United is scary, this and that. It's like, get out here, man, seriously, because you know that they're just in it for their clicks and views, and it's like, how dare you use my football club for clicks and views, yeah? It's like, get out of here, man, seriously. How stupid is that? Sky Sports F1 are only showing 1 hour live coverage of pre-season testing. There is no point showing it at all. A disgrace, as F1 Fanatic Rants has said. And F1 Fanatic Rants, make sure you are subbing to F1 Fanatic Rants, people, because he is 13 subs away from the 1K, the massive 1K milestone. So make sure you are subscribing to him. But yeah, it's like tomorrow they're only showing 1 hour, but Friday, the final day, they are showing the whole day. But I cannot be asked to watch it, so I won't be watching it on Friday, I don't think. Even though it's going to be broadcasted all day, I just can't be doing with a geezer. I really can't. It's like, I just want the season testing all done and get the season underway, because then we get to see where Ferrari really are in that. So, yeah, in the moment, I'm not too fussed. I mean, big up to my subscriber, though, F1 Fanatic Rants, who wants to talk about the pre-season testing. I don't blame him one bit, because at the end of the day, he does love talking about F1, doesn't he? But, I just cannot be asked, really, to talk a lot about pre-season. To me, when I start talking about it properly again, F1 videos, is when we get closer to the actual season starting, and that is when I'll start to get more involved in it. But for now, I got plenty to keep me occupied on YouTube, talk about Manchester United, whether it's the men or women. I'm back on my second channel now doing content. Yeah, but thank you, Day-Night Sorting, for make sure you are subbing to F1 Fanatic Rants, people. A Manchester United fan and an F1 fan as well, who posts both Manchester United and F1 content. Help him get up to the 1K, people, please, because he deserves it. He's been waiting so long to get up to that 1K. So, yeah, go and show F1 Fanatic Rants some love. Yeah, he's a great guy. But it just absolutely pisses me off, all these runners who put, oh, Manchester United are in the title fight, Manchester United is scary, just to get clicks and views and clouds and that. It's like, get out of here, man, seriously. Keep your name out of my football club, yeah? Seriously. What are we doing here? But anyway, let's listen to what Nuno Espirito Santo had to say after last night's game, because I can imagine that he would literally be quite frustrated, I think. Post-match interview, here we go.
Thomas, let's start with the game. I mean, we played.
I'll pick up Adam Partridge. Good evening, mate. Thank you for joining me this evening, mate. Much appreciated. You okay, Josh? Yeah, I'm all good. Thank you, Adam Partridge. How are you? I hope you're well. I hope your day's gone good. I've done Marc Skinner's press conference reaction. I listened to Michael Carrick's post-match interview. Now I'm going to listen to Nuno Espirito Santo as well to see what he had to say about the game. So, yeah. 100% he is downright sorting. He's another Ronan who's been using my football club for clicks and views. Honestly, all these Ronans who use my beautiful football club for clicks and views need to be teared a new asshole. Let's get it right. And I will carry on tearing them a new asshole, people. Let's get it right, because it's like, how dare you talk about the beautiful football club I love? I don't mind you having an opinion on them, but if you're going to use my club for clicks and views, then nah, fuck off. I'm okay, thank you, Josh 8. That's good. That's good, Adam Partridge. I know, yeah, that performance was not good enough, Adam Partridge. I was expecting a lot more from Manchester United. I really was. Nuno Certo Santo, here we go.
Defended well for 95 minutes and scored the second goal.
Big out to you, Brian CFC. Bash. Big out to you, my geezer. Dropped points. Yeah, both of our teams did, but it sounded like in your game, Brian CFC, that the officials were an absolute disgrace in your match. I mean, I can't really comment on it much yet because I still need to watch highlights on it, but I listened to Michael.Chelsea FC's rants. Oh my goodness me, people. He was absolutely enraged. Make sure you are subbing to Michael.Chelsea FC, people. Yes, we keep ripping them a new asshole on YouTube, Josh Rate. Yeah, I mean, they can all get in the bin, Michael.Chelsea FC. Casually, someone said Charlie Patrick stream yesterday. Hewer said his channel was rubbish. Time for what, Josh? Say exactly, Adam Partridge. Time for what? Time for what exactly? Yeah, you don't get any time in football these days. You're under pressure immediately.
Disappointed, of course, all of us, the players.
People on playback, make sure you're subscribing to Michael.Chelsea FC. His link is in the chat. He does Chelsea videos, Oldham Athletic, and talks about a few other things as well. Great guy.
Fans ourselves disappointed to take this final blow in the final moments of the game, but like you said, we compete really well. We've been able to contain a very good team that was in a good dynamic. You can see the quality there.
Put them YouTubers in the bin with PR, PSR, XG, GA, Josh A. Absolutely. They all need to get in the bin with all that bollocks.
Of the players, the organization. The way we started the second half was really positive. We scored. And like I said, we defended really well. Exception of the United as a header before. Also, that is a good chance, but overall, a very positive performance on the aspect, on the defensive aspect.
I mean, yeah, West Ham at times I thought they played quite well, but I think Nuno Certo Santo will be very frustrated his side couldn't get all 3 points, because that could still prove very costly come May. That draw could be the moment where West Ham United get relegated. So with the fine margins in this league, you need every opportunity to get maximum points as possible.
Of the game, and also in the final moments, we had 2 or 3 situations with space in behind that we should put the game to bed. Thank you. Yes, Chris. Yeah, it's a tough one. Yeah.
How hard is it for the team to keep coming back from those kinds of?
Yeah, we've been able to react, to bounce back from these disappointed moments that we've been having through the season, and the boys always been able to react and to compete.
Arsenal fans should be scared of Manchester City. They are 3 points behind Arsenal, and I never write Man City off. I mean, with Pep as manager, it's impossible to write them off, isn't it? I mean, yes, I know this Man City team is not the same as the treble winning team. They still got Haaland, they got Cherokee, they got Donnarumma, Foden looks confident, doesn't he? So, yeah, definitely don't write them off, people. Anyone who writes Man City off are absolute idiots. Let's get it right.
There's no other way. We have to keep on going. Today, I think we compete well and show the way. Our standards are high. We have to keep them.
I mean, Nuno Sergio Santo, I have to say, is doing a superb job at West Ham, because West Ham looks dead and buried, but now he's given them every opportunity to stay in the division. I mean, just imagine the scenes, right? If West Ham stay up and Nottingham Forest get relegated, I mean, imagine Nuno Sergio Santo relegated his former club. I mean, boy, oh boy, that'd be absolutely crazy work.
Yeah, but it was sometimes you just cannot avoid. I think inside of the crosses that Mbemo did through his career, maybe it was not the best one. But look, it is what it is. Some things you can do well and you cannot avoid. Amazing, I think. Throughout the game, the fans were there. The energy and the atmosphere at London Stadium was huge for us, helping the boys. And we're gonna need them. We're gonna need them till the end of this huge fight that we have in our hands. Yeah, work well. We could not ignore the quality of United, the way they've been building and creating so many chances. Having lesser body in the middle of the park, we've been able to contain them better.
Obviously, Jack popped up with another goal. He's got so many kind of big moments for West Ham. What do you make of it?
No, it was good. I think
it was a good finish by Thomas Souček. It really was, but poor marking by Manchester United. Seriously, we had to do a lot better with the marking there.
He has this quality in him that he always has been able to find the space and score. And again, besides that, he did an amazing job during the game. Yeah, he's the injury that we have. Unfortunately, yeah, he's gonna be out. Yeah, that's a blow for us. Okay, thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
There we go. Nuno Sergio Santos post-match interview. Yeah, I thought he answered the media quite well there. So, it was announced today that Thomas Frank has been sacked by Tottenham Hotspur. Now, to me, I'm not surprised at all, because, to me, if Thomas Frank had stayed on any longer at Tottenham Hotspur, they were generally in a relegation battle and could have quite possibly ended up getting relegated. Now, what would have been absolutely hilarious, right, is if they gave Thomas Frank the North London derby and Arsenal were the ones to finish him off. Imagine the scenes if that happens. But I guess Tottenham's mindset now is thinking they would have seen what Manchester United are doing and what Chelsea are doing. I said they're thinking, right, now let's bring in a replacement and hopefully that they now will get a new manager bounce. Now, Mauricio Pochettino has come out and said that he's interested in managing Tottenham again. But to me, even if Poch goes back to Tottenham, they will not be the same as what they were the last time under Mauricio Pochettino. Because the last time Pochettino, when he was Spurs manager, he had players like Gareth Bale, Harry Kane, Son Heung-min, Christian Eriksen, so many good players. But now, they don't have Harry Kane anymore, Son Heung-min, and Gareth Bale. I think this time round, Mauricio Pochettino will find it a lot more challenging if he comes back. To me, I just will not see it working out at all, people, because, he literally got sacked by Tottenham or he quit Tottenham before. So to me, going back there would be absolutely madness. But if he wants to go back there, I would get it because he's got a good connection with Tottenham Hotspurs. So, but, Pochettino, good manager, but obviously got Tottenham to the final. But Tottenham in the Champions League, they got beat by a very good Liverpool team. So, yeah. Manchester United need a new centre back and a rebuild in defence next summer and the summer transfer window. I agree with you, Dane, sorting 100%, mate. That's 100% spot on. We need a new defender. We really do, because, with the current defence we got, it's a bit dodgy and we're still conceding quite a few goals where, as a football fan, I demand us to keep a lot of clean sheets at the end of the day. I do not like Poch at Chelsea because he bottled jobs, and I never wanted him at Chelsea because he is a Spurs reject. And he called out your ownership as well, which you have to respect that, Dane, sorting, because it just goes to show that he is no yes man at the end of the day, Pochettino. He did not like what the ownership was doing at Chelsea, so he called out the ownership, and guess what happened? The ownership went sacked, got rid of him, because obviously the ownership do not like being called out, do they? So they had a hissy fit about it and got rid of him, but I think he was a bit out of his depth anyway, your football club at Daylight sorting. So, yeah, I think I can see why you got rid of him in the end at Daylight sorting, because to me, just not good enough, mate, at the end of the day. But, it will be interesting to see who Tottenham go for next. It really will. But we all know that Spurs at the moment just do not have any ambition to win whatsoever. I was thinking when they won the Europa League last season that this may give them the energy to kick on and be a bit more successful. But no, it's not worked out that way at all. Tottenham have had a lot of injuries this season, and I think personally they should look into getting some new physio, and just because if they get new physio and their players stay fitter longer, then yeah, I think whoever comes in next may get a bit of a tune out of the players. But it's Spurs at the end of the day, and the ownership and the boards clearly do not have the ambition. This is why Tottenham Hotspur has struggled so much. The reason why they won the Europa League last season was because they were very, very against a very poor Manchester United team, who didn't have any confidence. Ruben Amorim just sitting back and defending, it was pathetic. So I do not miss Ruben Amorim at all, people. He was holding the team back, Ruben Amorim. I mean, an absolute fraud, honestly. I see Chelsea women walking away because of the model, what they're doing on the women seem like the men at Chelsea. Yeah, it's unacceptable, daylight sorting, It's not sustainable whatsoever, mate. I mean, let's get it right here, people, yeah? Let's absolutely get the narrative right. But big up to every single one of you who is lying and locked in this evening. Much appreciated. Now, if you do enjoy your Manchester United content and Premier League content, make sure you are hitting the subscribe button. And if you're into your EFL, International Football, non-league, make sure you are subscribing to my second channel. The link is in the description. And make sure you are subscribing as well to my extra channel if you're into your gaming and loads of other good stuff. The link is in the description again. So, yep, big up to every single one of you who has liked, shared, and supported the channel. You seem absolutely amazing. I cannot thank you guys enough. I really can't. But anyway, that is the end of tonight's show. Now, I will be going live on my gaming channel very shortly. I'm going to carry on playing some more Tomb Raider 3. So do join me for that. I will post it on the community when I go live on there. And I'll be back on here tomorrow for a live watch along of Atletico Madrid women and Manchester United women in the women's UCL first leg of the playoff. I'm very much looking forward to that. Hopefully, Manchester United women can win the game. Be nice to take a winning lead back to Old Trafford or Leah Sports Village. It really will, but it will be a tough game because we've seen how good the Spanish women's teams have been in the Champions League. But when we played Atletico Madrid women last time out, we played really well against them and got the victory. Hopefully our women's team will be able to repeat that again tomorrow. That'd be absolutely amazing. But anyway, I'll be looking forward to doing the live watched on to that. And throughout the weekend, I'll probably do a preview for the WSL game because I believe we are playing in the WSL at the weekend. So I'll see who we got in the WSL. Who we playing? London City Lionesses at 12 a.m. So I'll do a preview for that game and a match reaction. So even though Manchester United men are not in action, people, I'll still have you covered with the women's team because at the end of the day, we are a Manchester United channel on here. Women Chelsea manager means I'll not blame her if she walks away. How would Michael feel if that happens? I think he'll be absolutely heartbroken. But anyway, I'll see you over on my gaming channel in the next 10 to 15 minutes on my extra channel. And don't forget, Glazers out, Enios out, and brown envelopes in the bin as well. Bye-bye. Shall we see if there's anyone live who I can redirect to? And if I do set up a redirect, fucking make sure I save it this time, yeah? Because that was a real stinker and hugs moment the last time. I mean, let's get it right here, people, yeah? Let's absolutely get the narrative right. But big up to every single one of you who's been live and locked in for this stream. Yeah, much appreciated. I appreciate all you guys' support. I really do. We are all fellowship of the realist. Big up to Ross the Stocks who come up with that name, fellowship of the realist. Make sure you are subscribing to him. And yep, so I'm going to send you over to Uncle Rod's TV now. Make sure you put Mr. Joshy J Raid. Make sure you are subbing to him. Now, I have clicked save people, so the redirect is set up. He's a great guy. He's a Liverpool fan. Another one who just says it how it is. So go and show him some love. Make sure you are subbing to him. Make sure you put Mr. Joshy J Raid. And I'll see you over on my extra channel for some more Tomb Raider Let's Play. So, very much looking forward to that. And come on, Manchester United women tomorrow in the Women's Champions League. Bash!